The green leaves sway in the cool breeze. The sky is clear, the moon is full, and your tent is cozy. But nature calls. You exit your tent, walk into the woods, and find a tiny clearing. Just as you're about to leave, there's a snap of a twig in the tree line. And from behind a tree, your father's voice calls out to you. The voice should be comforting, but instead it freezes the blood in your veins. Because you are camping alone. Your father is at home. Before delving into the stories, legends, and sightings of these creatures, you must first understand what a cryptid is and how society views them. This is an exploration into cryptozoology and its cryptids. Classification 1: Distribution Anomalies. Distribution anomalies are known animals reported outside their normal range. In other words, there's sightings in parts of the world that they aren't supposed to be in. The phantom cats of the United Kingdom are one such example, which are big felines not native to Britain, but are still sighted regularly in their countryside. Classification 2: Undescribed, Unusual, or Outsized. These refer to known species with abnormal qualities to them. In other words, these are animals that we have already proven to exist that have strange mutations or sizes to them. There are stories in South America of anacondas of gigantic proportions, and the morosi are hybrids of a leopard and lion or an adult lion that has retained its childhood spots. Classification 3: Survivals of the recently extinct. This is known animals that might still be alive after being officially declared extinct by zoologists. For example, the Tasmanian tiger, a creature that looked like the front of a dog and the end of a tiger, actually did exist and could open its mouth wider than any other mammal. It was declared extinct in 1936, but there's been 3,800 sightings just from Australia since its extinction date. Classification 4: Survivals of the Fossilized. Survival of the fossilized means the survival of species known only from the fossil record. An excellent example of this is the Mythical. It is a water-dwelling living dinosaur that greatly resembles a sauropod. For those of you that don't know, that is a long neck. It's believed to live in the Congo and one of the more well-known cryptids with tons of monster hunting television series featuring it. Classification 5: Lingerlings. These are species known from the fossil record that may have lived much longer than experts thought. The woolly mammoth, for example, officially lived during the Ice Age, and experts believe a combination of hunting and climate change killed them off. However, there have been sightings in Siberia and Alaska as late as 1920. Classification 6: Related Anomalies. Related anomalies are animals not known from the fossil record, but are related to known species. One such cryptid is the Andean wolf, who might stalk the wilds of the Andes. A pelt and skull surfaced in the early 1900s, but the pelt was too contaminated for testing, and the skull was lost in World War II. Classification 7, Unknowns. These are animals not known from the fossil record and are not related to any known species. This is the most popular category, as you can imagine, and includes Bigfoot, sea serpents, goatman, and the list goes on, really. Each cryptid's existence all have sightings, but actual evidence that makes us scratch our heads vary greatly from case to case. Classification 8, Mythical. Mythical is the term used for fabled animals with a zoological basis. It's pretty straightforward. This is a category for creatures of myth, legend, and folklore. Griffins would count as one of these because they're partly inspired by dinosaur fossils. Classification 9, Animalistic Paranormals. These are seemingly paranormal or supernatural entities with some animal-like characteristics. Skinwalkers from Native American folklore are a favorite of mine. They're described as evil shamans that can shift into animals by wearing the skin of those they kill. Classification 10, Hoaxes or Misidentifications. It's exactly what it sounds like. This is when all presented evidence turns out to be a hoax, or when it's proven a strange sighting was just of someone in a costume or a known animal. The jackalope is among these. It's an antlered rabbit and a popular hoax in taxidermy. But of course, there are also those that don't make the cut, so to speak, and are not considered a cryptid even though they are still unexplained and a mystery to many. Bizarre humans, zombies, vampires, angels, demons, and aliens. These are excellent examples of the things I will not be covering on this channel. Cryptid is only the term used to describe the creatures of mystery, but what about cryptozoology itself? Cryptozoology doesn't follow the scientific method, so it is considered a pseudoscience. It isn't a branch of zoology, but it also isn't a branch of folkloristics either. There's really no uniform method for investigating cryptids, so just like the creatures that they study, cryptozoology is subject to a lot of condemnation. Paleontologist Donald Perthero has criticized Professor Roy Mackal as a leading figure for cryptozoology. The professor has a doctorate in biology, but Perthero argues that he has no training that would qualify him in the study of exotic animals, and thus accuses the professor of credential mongering. That's when a person's graduate degree is used as proof of expertise to support someone's theories or finding, despite that their training is not relevant to that field. On the other hand, there are still other experts in the field that doesn't hold water to. Carl Schuker is a zoologist. Grover Krantz and Richard Greenwell, when alive, were also notable cryptozoologists with academic backgrounds. All in all, cryptozoology isn't really acknowledged in the academic world. Disdain, hatred, and criticism are hurled across the aisle from both sides. Some are concerned that it may confuse aspiring scientists about the scientific method, while others point out that the discovery of some fossils in animals thought long extinct or non-existent is enough reason to accept the field of study. If one thing is certain, no one can agree with each other. I tend to approach everything with an open mind. I do think both sides can be right in a way, it just depends on the specific subject they're talking about. Hardly any field of study can just have a blanketed judgment thrown over it and be 100% correct. I do understand where biologist Dan Ward and folklorist Peter Dendel are coming from when they call cryptozoologists nothing more than monster hunters. I mean, a lot of evidence regarding popular subjects like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster have been proven hoaxes after all. So while there's still evidence not yet explained or proven authentic, that's why they would be hesitant to back it, and I can completely understand that. On the other hand, I also completely understand where zoologist Carl Schuker comes from when he says that the field of study is at an unfair disadvantage because an animal is no longer classified under cryptozoology once they are confirmed to be real. It's immediately categorized under zoology, and I do agree that that means the public tends to credit zoologists for it rather than cryptozoologists that found the evidence of its discovery. And that has happened. The giant squid, the platypus, the okapi, the Komodo dragon, even the mountain gorilla began as cryptids. So there are creatures that exist that were considered the stuff of myths and hoaxes by the academic world for a very long time until proven otherwise. I mean, the platypus was thought to be just as unlikely as Bigfoot. So, what do you think? Are you with the scientists that think all of this is baloney? With the cryptozoologists that absolutely believe some of these things exist? Are you somewhere in between? Let me know down in the comments. I'd really love to read them. I'm going to go for now though. I hope you have a lovely week and I'll see you next Monday. Bye!